got a report of a noisy motor. Put the speed control onto minimum speed so it will run without having to build up some head pressure. I think. Yep, I think it's safe to say that motor's had it. There's not a lot of room between that dryer and the motor to get it out. I think the last time we did something here we had to take the bolts out, put some cardboard behind so it didn't damage the fins, take the bolts out, let the motor drop in, take the guard out of the way and then wriggle the motor out. Okay, we've got the wire disconnected. I've just cut them off so I know where to put the new ones back in. Got a socket for doing these with a it's got a couple of magnets in the side so it'll hold the bolt in there, but it's hollow so you can get quite a long thread, so I'll still hold that in there now. Anyway, get them loose and then we'll see if we can get some cardboard or something put in to protect the fins. Then I think we've got to take these bolts out, push the motor in, get the guard out of the way, and then you can get the motor out, but it won't come out because of the way the factory's put the liquid line across the back here. The only other way you do it is take all the gas out and take the valve off the receiver. So they've not really thought that through when they built these units, because they come factory done with a liquid line and the sight glass just down to about here, and you just connect onto there when you install them. Right, I've got the bolts out, a bit of cardboard in there. Yeah, some fun getting that cable fed through. Hands for this, but it does come off. I've had to do this before to wash them out when they've got really dirty. Right, got the motor out eventually. See how this will show up. Quite a bit of play in that. And then what that's done is where that's been vibrating, it's actually shook the rivets loose on the blades. So I've seen this before, actually we might even have a crack start in there. As if they run it too long with a bad bearing, it can make the blades shear off and then they stab a hole in the condenser or flatten all the fins over. Anyway, that's had it. Then we'll have to take a new one to bits, do the reverse, get that fitted in there. Right, it's a new one in there. I've noticed it had these little packing pieces that sat in there, so I'll be careful to put them back in. And the screws also look like they've got some thread locking stuff around them, so we'll put some Loctite thread locker on there just in case. Might even be just to make it a bit more waterproof, although it's fairly sheltered here, it's under a little cover. To get the guard past the motor, it won't actually go as it is. What you have to do is lift this up so that blade goes up into the condenser and it gets the bump of the motor up above the bump of the dryer, and then it lets you get this edge past. But it has to you have to sort of tip it over the top and slide it in, and then bring it back up level. Yeah, it is doable. This is on it's a Copeland unit, but it's built for Paco. It's for one of their milk tanks. So you can get them off if you have to, without pumping it down and taking the liquid line out of the way. Although I did undo that clip, give us a bit more room. Right, it's quite fiddly to do, but what I've done is done the top two. Then I'm going to spin it around 180 degrees, and then I can do the bottom two, which can then be at the top, so those little bits don't keep dropping out, the little packing pieces. Then we can get the cardboard out, get the motor bolted back on there. I usually put some grease in these threads just to stop them getting rusty, a bit of copper grease or white grease or something. Right, I've been reading the instructions. There's different versions of these motors. We had the old type, was the original. Then we've got this one, which is the new type. And the wiring is actually different, so you can't just put the wires back where they were. Basically, the brown and the black around the opposite way, and the capacitor is across the live and the brown instead of the neutral and the brown. Or the neutral and the black, I think it was. I've got the old diagram here. Yeah, capacitor was across blue and black, which is neutral and black on the original one, and on this one it's across brown and black is now alive, whereas previously the brown was alive. So something to be careful of, even though the motors look the same. I've got a different part number here, 3152717, and that was 3124561. So just be careful of that. If you put the wires in the same place as they were originally, it might not run right. Right, got that wired. Just waiting for the timer on the tank to kick in. I'll put some water in it to cool down, so I can run this for 5 or 10 minutes just to make sure it's wired right. It's just nice to be able to see it get up to full speed. So we might blank the condenser off with a sheet or something to get the head pressure up, so the speed control kicks it up to full speed. That one's kicked in. Let's turn this one on. 1.5, it's 1.8 I think. 1.85 maximum on 240 volt 50 Hz. Just going around the right way. I think I'll get a sheet and blank the condenser off. Running about the same as the other one. Got one of these Yankee style screwdrivers, and this one's made by Facom, and it takes the little hex bits, it's easy with the two hands on there. It's quicker than a normal screwdriver when you haven't got the time to get the battery drill out or something, or it's not worth the bother. Anyway, you get the idea. That's that done. It's been running for sort of 5-10 minutes. I checked the amperage on it and compared it to that one. It was running the same as that one. So I checked them both with a sack over there, so they went up to full speed and compared them. So I think we're happy with that.